Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this reading will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. If you are new to tarot, it's possible that you will have one of those placements and a reading won't resonate. It just happens like that sometimes. Definitely never take a reading that's not for you, especially if you find it offensive. Just discard it and move on with your day. I'm going to pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, Empress. Obviously, those cards are not based on gender, or it would only be right about 50% of the time. Instead, it'll describe a personality. You'll definitely know who we're talking about. Cross-watchers are welcome, but you can't get offended and come in the comments and offend anyone else here. Most of these people are going through the same thing as you, especially if you feel like it's in the reverse. I do take private personals. The information is in the description of the video. I also offer a membership. If you're interested in that, you can hit the join button below to check out all the perks. Again, if you are new to tarot, there are lots of different tarot readers and tarot styles. I do consistently hold both parties in a reading accountable. That means I'll also be talking about where you're going wrong. If you do not feel like you are at a stage of healing where you can handle that, I understand. I've been there. But instead of getting triggered, it's probably best to just click out of the video right here. So I'm not pulling anything specific. I'll just grab some overall energies. We'll clarify everything with the tarot, and then I'll grab some advice at the end. I felt you needed 3 from that deck, apparently. So we have season of rest. I observe my body's rhythms and rest when it's time. I sleep in peace and give myself permission to rest. I welcome the winter season of rest. We have grudge holder. Have faith in your dreams. Communication is key and expect powerful change. So we have the waxing crescent moon, new moon in Gemini, and new moon eclipse. And we have projective identification. Projects qualities that are unacceptable to the self onto another individual, and that person internalizes projected qualities as truth. The overall energy is the 3 of Wands. We have the Tower, Aries, Scorpio, the Ace of Swords, the 8 of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. And at the bottom of the deck, the 8 of Pentacles. Some of you are waiting something out. Something blew up, some shit was said, and somebody walked away. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. And of course I had some Aries here on the Tower. The thing here is somebody's ego feels like they gotta leave something alone here. I don't know how else to put this. Like somebody somebody's waiting for someone to communicate with them and the other person's holding a grudge. I just feel like basically whatever was said here, like you were speaking your truth. You know what I mean? Like I think that you were just trying to tell somebody something, or maybe change the way that they behave by making them aware of it in some type of way. And this really blew up in your face. And now this person feels some type of way. But, you know, your pride won't let you let them go. You know, I feel like you still want this person and you're sitting around waiting for them to come back around to work on things here. I feel like you were really expecting some type of change in the relationship and not for someone to just walk away from you, you know, and some of you might even be feeling like at this point, because it could be like basically the whole winter has passed since you've heard from this person. And even though they're still who you want, or there was some type of dream attached to them when it comes to a relationship or an expectation, I think there could really just be this realizing kind of what actually happened here. You know, this is a person that you actually can't tell about themselves. They're not going to take accountability. Before they do the right thing, they'll just blow up on you and leave you be. I feel like it's a kind of rough place to be in, because if you had your own way, you would be able to have a conversation with this person so they could understand where you were really coming from to release this grudge, you know? But I think a lot of stuff has changed. You know, I don't know how to explain that. Like, I think that a lot of time has kind of passed here. A cycle has actually closed out in your mind. It's maybe that you need to let it go now. You know, it's... I think rough. You know, it's like you'd like to talk to somebody about the way things ended, or, you know, what you were going through in that time. But this person feels righteous in closing this out. You know, they feel like you did them filthy. And it's just, you know, like, I don't know, there's something with this person where they felt like, straight up, things couldn't be worked out. You know, like, I think that this person may have felt like like this was being done to them. Now, whether it was or not is one thing, you know what I mean? But I feel like they thought that what you were coming at them with was some bullshit, that you were projecting your own negative qualities onto them, you know? I don't know if you accused them of something, or if you just basically tried to express to them where things were going wrong here. You didn't expect it to go the way that it did, though. And even after they left, I think you've really solidly been sitting here waiting for a person to come back around. But there's kind of something here where, you know, maybe this is just confirming somebody else feels justified in holding the grudge against you. And maybe there's something here that you do have to work out with yourself. Did you project your own negative qualities onto someone, you know? Maybe it's in the reverse. Maybe somebody did this to you, but I think that, you know, sometimes people don't think about these things, you know, like, doing or saying something in the moment and later being like, hey, I didn't even mean that, doesn't mean that it wasn't said in the moment. I don't know if this is in the reverse or whatever, but one person feels like things could be fixed if there was just a conversation to be had, and the other person feels like somebody else doesn't even deserve the conversation. I don't know if it's like a stonewalling experience or something, you know, where they're just like literally not even allowing contact to happen here, you know. Some of you may be recognizing that this is something that you do, and that it was kind of unfair to this person. You'd like to talk it out, but they really won't give you the fucking chance to do so, you know? So there's like, they're not completely mature on their end either. They should at least be having a conversation or giving some type of closure. Like, something should be able to be worked out through a discussion here. And the other person really feels like they know their worth, and they'll have more success by closing this out and just moving on to something else, or just working on themselves. There's just kind of something here where I think it's kind of like two people with their head in their ass. It's like, I don't know, I'm being mean. I think when you think back to the situation, you would admit this about yourself. I wasn't acting right in the moment. Whatever I said, I knew was going to cause conflict. I knew that there would be chaos. I just didn't expect when this person was going to walk away that it would be forever. I think this was quite a bit ago. You know what I mean? And somehow there is still an attachment to this person where they're kind of actually everything that you wanted. But you just, and that could be the obsession, is like somebody, maybe they could have dealt with it better, but at the same time, they you feel like they had the right in the moment to decide that was really fucked up and I'm walking away. It was something that was said or done, just straight up. Whatever side you're on this, here's another thing, is that someone might think somebody's holding a grudge and the person's not even holding a grudge. It could be someone who actually is just really secure and is not going to deal with or tolerate somebody who really would just say nasty things, or just, project their own bullshit onto them. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm doing a cross-watcher reading, like maybe somebody needs to know that the reason that a Scorpio has left them alone is because they know their value and they're not just going to be spoken to like that. But definitely some of you, this is in the reverse, whether you want to hear it or not. The shit that you said that created the problem was the straw that broke the camel's back. And somebody feels like they should never return, that a cycle's closed out. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. What's going on with them now? The High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces energy, the Hermit, Virgo energy, the King of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck, the Sun. Yeah, this person doesn't want to talk to you. I would say that it doesn't matter which way this is going. I'm not going to sit here and say 100 times that it could be in the reverse. Whoever felt smited, whoever felt like somebody was projecting their own bullshit onto them, they don't want to talk. They just don't want to talk. You know what I mean? For some of you, like, what you don't know is that the reason this person's not talking, they're totally in another relationship. I have a King and a Queen of Pentacles here. They're happy somewhere else, and this cycle's closed for them. I think that they may have learned a lot from the relationship, but where somebody's obsessing and thinking that, the other person's just holding a grudge, and if they would just have a conversation, things would be worked out. Nobody's holding a grudge. They have just actually moved on. But somebody needs to see their own energy and learn how to watch their fucking mouth sometimes in relationships, or they're going to always lose, But this is a weird energy to kind of wait around to see if you can work something out with someone who's not really showing you any sign of life, Could it be you that's really holding the grudge here, Maybe somebody wasn't even aware in the moment of what they were actually doing. Maybe somebody thought they would say something or play a little game, and they thought they would get a different result than they did. I'm kind of getting two stories here. For some people, this was just a fight that broke out, and some of the words were too much. For other people, whoever you were dealing with found out a truth here. This could be somebody that you were constantly accusing of cheating, for them to fuck around and find out that you were. There's kind of like something here, or it's in the reverse, where like somebody kept emitting to the other person, almost like in a confession, but a twisted one, what they were doing, and they expected a person to come back around after this. I don't know. Somebody here is delusional. They believe that somebody who has left them behind moved into a whole other relationship and is quite happy in life. is going to come around one day and communicate with them. They don't understand that they actually did take something too fucking far. And that it's time to let it go. And if you want to have a relationship or be with someone, you got to do it elsewhere. You know, I feel like, you know, somebody here had an unrealistic expectation of someone else, that they would just deal with whatever. Because one person here is feeling like the other person's completely exposed. They figured out who this person is. You will never change their fucking mind about the person that they used to deal with. Like, straight up, they know the truth, the Ace of Swords and the Tower. They will never change their mind. That's why they walked away. I don't know how to explain that. You know, maybe somebody needs to understand there's going to be times in life where you hurt somebody and you can't take it back. What's the advice here? The Devil, Capricorn energy, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups. I'm not trying to be mean to somebody here, but if you're sitting around obsessed over a person, it's probably time to move on, because I feel like there is a deep obsession with the person who really is in a new relationship. They are actually happy. You know, and this, again, can be in the reverse. Somebody might need to just move on from you. It'd be best to not ever contact them back or whatever the case may be here, because there's something new here that's excellent versus something that was fucking toxic. You know, like really toxic, you know? Somebody needs to accept that somebody's never coming back, though. It's just really that simple. Like the conversation you're expecting to have, the change you want to make, not now. You know, you would have to wait for someone else's relationship to be over, or it's just, it doesn't seem worth it to me. It's time to move on. But take the lesson here, if this was you, you know that not everybody is going to deal with this kind of shit. Sorry, I think that was a plow truck. They already took 2 of the mailboxes out outside. I don't know who the hell they hired this year, but I hope they lose their job because they're not good at it. The last video had me jumping because 2 mailboxes were taken out. If you don't know, I live in New York and we have like a foot of snow outside right now, so it's crazy as hell. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to somebody. I think that most of these, this is like, I feel like I'm reading for a cross watcher who's still obsessed with a Scorpio, and you need to know that they have happily moved on. And I'm sorry if it's in the other. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but let this be the curve. Let this be the change, you know. Okay, I accept that. They've moved on. They're happy. I want that for them. And it's time for me to do the same. I'll see you soon.